think that's,
We're gonna get council picture.
oh, that's right.
So. I'm not very sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna, let's see. Steve, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Is that you? Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shetron, seconded by Councilwoman Bushman. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. It's unanimous. I'm going to take this out of order. We have our retiring Councilman George Jost here, and I want to read this plaque that we're going to present to George. Excuse me. In recognition and appreciation of your service and dedication to the citizens of Green River, City Councilman from 1985 to 2000, Wyoming State Water Development Commission 2001 to 2007, and City Councilman from 2021 to 2024. That's a lot of years, 20 years that George has given to the citizens of Green River, and we want to award this plaque to him. Okay, first up on the agenda then is item 5, presentations, recognition of the Green River Recreation Center staff and patrons. Who's going to be taking this? Okay. Oh, we did go a little quick there, didn't we? We're going to take a recess for 5 or 6 minutes. I think she'll be in here by then, okay?
Do we want to go ahead and get a picture with Gary?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to call this meeting back to order, and on the agenda is recognition of the Green River Recreation Center staff and patrons, so.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Katie Blood, Rec Supervisor at the Green River Rec Center. Thank you for taking a recess so that I could get here on time. I was at my kids' soccer practice, so I thought I was 5 minutes early. But. So I just wanted to take a moment to recognize 3 of our city staff members who demonstrated excellent skills and professionalism during a recent emergency in December at our rec center pool. So during a morning water aerobics class, a 75-year-old patron experienced a medical emergency that resulted in loss of consciousness while in the pool's deep end. So the response from our staff was immediate and exemplary. Both the Leisure Programs Division instructor, Renee Price, behind me, and Recreation Division staff members Jordan Anderson, who couldn't make it tonight, simultaneously recognized the emergency and took immediate action. Like immediate action. He was in the water before their face was down for even 1 second. Their rapid recognition occurred within seconds, far exceeding the average recognition time of 3 minutes in similar situations. While Jordan managed the water rescue in the deep end, which is very taxing, Rec Division Front Desk staff member Malia Gomez coordinated the emergency services and facility response, ensuring that the advanced life support was available within 4 minutes, well under the critical 10-minute window recommended by aquatic safety standards. According to the American Red Cross, the survival rate in water-related medical emergencies drops by 10% for every minute of delayed response. There's Malia. Our team's quick action and seamless coordination ensured 0 delay in emergency care. The patron regained consciousness quickly after being removed from the water, thanks to our staff's swift and professional response. I'd also like to recognize 3 of our community members, Bonnie Shoup, Ivan Banks, and Parker White, who stepped forward to assist our staff during the emergency. Their willingness to help exemplifies the strong community spirit that we value in Green River. The collaboration between our Rec and Leisure Programs Division exemplified the highest standard of public service and emergency response. These staff members turned what could have been a tragedy into a testament to our commitment to public safety and professional excellence. Their actions reflect the caliber of training and dedication we strive for in all our city employees, and I just really wanted to take a moment just to recognize them. So, thank you.
Let's give him a big hand.
So we need all you people to come up here. We're going to take your picture. Oh. Wait for Jeremy. Congratulations, you guys. Thank you. Okay, so now's the time that I normally take another short recess, just in case there's people that were here just for that presentation and that would like to go and do their homework or whatever it might be that they might want to do. So I'm going to take a short 1-minute recess, and I'd like to say hello to the former mayor back there. Hi, David. See you, Jeremy. Great job, you guys. Okay, moving on. Citizen requests and other communications. Are there any citizens in the audience that are not on the agenda that want to address the council? Okay, seeing none, board and committee appointments. Appointment of 2 council members to the Finance Committee. So, the Finance Committee consists of the mayor, the city administrator, the director of finance, and 2 council members. There are 2 council members that have spoken to me, and I'm just gonna let you guys know that have indicated that they would be interested in doing this. One has experience, which is good, and the others don't, and that's Gary and Ron. So it's up to you guys. I'll entertain a motion to appoint council members to the Finance Committee,
Mayor,
or nominations, I guess.
I'd like to nominate Ron Williams as a member of the Finance Committee.
Okay, we've got 2 positions open, so anybody else can, Ron?
I'd like to nominate Gary.
Okay, okay. Any other nominations?
Mayor, I
Sherry?
nominate myself.
Okay. Any other nominations?
Mayor,
Yes,
I
Mike.
nominate Gary Kilpack.
Okay. Okay, so we have 3 people to vote for. How are we gonna do this typically? I guess we're relying on you 2 guys to give me a little guidance on this. We've never, normally don't have 3. Okay, okay, so the first person that was nominated, the second person that was nominated, and the third person, that's how I'm gonna do it. So,
You could do it, but if you want to do it in writing and have them write it down and submit it, then you can do that, or you can do it open.
how would you guys prefer to do it?
I'd like to do it in private, and
Okay.
just a note.
Okay, is that, council, is that okay with you guys?
That works.
Okay, so write down 2 names and send them this way, okay?
What are we writing?
Tear something out, it doesn't matter, you got pages. Everybody's got paper.
Here, I've got a piece of paper. Just 2 more?
Oh, here we go.
Because I gotta collect these.
You're gonna show up
you
my
don't
ripped
want it
piece
on,
of
Joe?
paper here, Chris?
If you'll vote for 2 of them and write them, then I'll collect them for you, and then I'll come receive each. They've moved offices on me.
Okey dokey. This should only take a second then. Okay, the two nominations, or the two folks that are going to be on the Finance Committee is Ron and Gary, okay? And I'm going to recommend that Ron be the primary person and Gary be the, okay? And we all know why that is. Thank you. Okay, moving on, ordinances. Item A, consideration of the second reading of an ordinance amending the City of Green River's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Article 2 through 9, Building and Building Regulations. We've all heard this. Is anybody, and even though Jessica's new, she was at the meeting before, so you know what's going on. Does everybody know what's going on? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Berg.
I move to approve on second reading the amendments to Chapter 7 of the City of Green River Code of Ordinances as they relate to the adoption of the 2024 International Code Council Building Codes.
Oh, was that you, Ron? Okay, so it's been moved by Councilman Berg, seconded by Councilman Williams. Is there any further discussion? So just to tell anybody in the audience that might not know, this is just, codes get updated periodically. The state is recommending that these codes be changed, or I don't know if that they're recommending or requiring, I think is more appropriate. So we're just going along with that. That's what's going on. So it's just bringing codes up to date, consistent with the state's requirements. With that, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. It's unanimous. Resolutions, item A, consideration of a resolution establishing designation of bank depositories for the City of Green River. This is another pretty straightforward one that happens every year, I believe.
Good
Every
evening,
few
Mayor and
years.
Council. Yes, you're correct, Mayor Pete. It is something we do every year. State statute requires that every financial institution that the city use pass a banking depository resolution designating us as a bank and pledging collateralization for the city. If they don't pledge us, we cannot use them as a financial institution of the city. So the list before you is the ones that have submitted that information to us.
Okay, and does anybody have any questions?
I'll be abstaining from this one.
Okay. And I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but Jessica, since you're newer, feel free to ask any questions at any time, okay?
Okay.
Because we have been through this, and it's just a standard thing of what has to be done in order.
It's not in there.
I think I heard Jessica ask, where's the list? So where's the list of you got it?
Sorry, I have.
That's all right.
So I was just,
We're getting your technology to you as fast as we can. It's been a little slow for us today.
it's okay.
Hopefully we have that for you by the next council meeting.
I won't complain.
Okay, so this does not have a motion. Consideration of a resolution establishing.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'll help you out with that in a minute. The motion will be consideration of a resolution to adopt the banking resolutions as presented.
Okay, so you understand that? That's the motion that we're going to vote on. Anybody have any questions on that? This is pretty straightforward. Okay. Seeing no questions, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do we have to have somebody make the motion?
Mr.
So
Mayor, can we
moved,
get a
Mayor.
motion and a second, please?
Okay,
So moved.
so
Second.
Thank you very much.
seems like a lot of,
A lot of hubbub for nothing, right?
yeah, right. So who made the motion? Robert? And Sherry seconded. Okay, no questions, correct? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. I just love parliamentary procedure.
For the record, I abstain.
Okay. And you did say that, Mike, so. Council action items, we'll see how we get through this one. Consideration of the election of council president. I will take nominations for the council president position.
Mayor,
Councilman Kilpack.
I'd like to nominate Mike Shuttron to be council president.
Any other nominations
Mayor?
for the council president?
Mayor, I'd like to nominate Gary Kilpack for council president.
Gary, are you,
I've done it 7 times, so let somebody else have it.
Okay.
Thank you.
okay. Okay. All right, seeing no more, I'm going to close the nominations. This is kind of obvious, but all in favor of appointing Mike Shuttron as the council president, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Believe it's unanimous. Okay. Vice president. Have nominations for vice president of the council.
Mayor,
Councilman Kilpack.
I'd like to nominate Robert Berg as vice chairman.
Any others? Robert, are you willing to accept this?
I'm willing to accept this.
Okay. I know. I got it this time. Okay, so do we have a motion to nominate Robert Byrd?
Mayor? I make a motion that we nominate Robert Byrd
Okay,
for council vice president.
okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. So it's been moved by Councilman Byrd,
Moved by Councilman Shutter.
moved by Councilman Shuttron, thank you.
Seconded by Williams.
Second by Councilman Williams. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I've been sick also, by the way. Yeah, for 3 weeks. Consideration of the release of retainage for the Faith in Evans construction project. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Dustin Romero, with the City of Green River Public Works. This evening, we are seeking your approval to release the retainage for the Faith in Evans Drive reconstruction project. The project has been advertised as being substantially complete. The contractor's completed punch list items, and we have also issued the certificate of final acceptance to the contractor. So with your approval tonight, we will go ahead and get the project closed out. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Excellent. Does anybody have any questions of Dustin? Go ahead, Councilman.
I just got a question. With the asphalt being laid so late in the year, and it's questionable on how cold it was at the time, are we gonna be able to, if we have some bad spots in there, they'll come back and replace it with a part of a warranty or something?
Yes, sir. So, we did have the contractor, issue us a 5-year warranty on the asphalt and base materials. So we do have that warranty in place.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Good question, Ron. Any other questions for Dustin?
I will also add, Mayor Rust, that in a previous council meeting, we mentioned an additional 1 inch of asphalt that we installed. That was a measure that we took to sort of give us some reassurance in case, for installing asphalt in cool weather.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do want to mention, we did get an excellent letter from a local resident that complimented yourself and the staff for all the work that they did on the project. They were very happy with it, which is always nice to hear. Councilman
Just
Shuttron.
another question. The few that you did have come back to you that wanted a little bit of modification done to the curb and gutter on the way, were we able to facilitate any of that?
We went ahead with our standard, our original design curve throughout the entire project, essentially.
Okay.
We were out there taking measurements to see if the curbs required any modifications, and the design just worked perfectly with all of the driveways, so no modifications were required.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor?
Councilman Shutter.
I move to release the retainage for the Faith and Evans Drive reconstruction project to Kilgore Companies LLC, doing business as Lewis and Lewis Incorporated, in the amount of $91,245.86.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shutter and seconded by Councilman Berg. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Are you on this one too, Dustin?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, let me just read this beginning. Consideration of agreement with Inberg Miller Engineers to perform professional engineering services for the Bridger Drive reconstruction project.
So, good evening again, Mayor and Council. We are also seeking your approval to enter into an agreement with Inberg Miller Engineers to perform a subsurface investigation, do some surveying, and also assist us with design engineering services for Bridger reconstruction project. The contract carries a not-to-exceed cost of $139,625. With your approval tonight, we will go ahead and authorize IME to get started, and hopefully that'll put us on track for another successful rebuild. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those now.
Any questions, council?
Where did this one show up on the, so the overall pavement index we have for streets, what number was this one in there, do you recall? As far as like the Dirty Dozen, I mean, where'd this one rate?
Good evening, Mayor, Council Mark Wesensco, Public Works Director. This one's been on the Dirty Dozen for years. The segment that's under evaluation and going to be done is the portion between East Teton and West Teton. So the portion in front of the stores. We did quite a bit of patching on the portion from West Teton to Hitching Post. And so that one was the better section. This is the worst section. And one of the things we're going to be able to do here is run the storm water up, or run the storm piping up to that intersection. It's one of our goals there is to be able to get the storm water off. It's one of the things that really damages our pavement, that freeze-thaw cycle, and be able to get that off there. So
Okay.
this is a section that's been wanted to do for years.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Hey, Mark, I got a question real quick. Do you know any idea when they're gonna get this all figured out so we can get it out and put it out to bid? What are you shooting for here?
So our goal on this one is to get this one ready to bid May, June. This is gonna be a fiscal year '26. It's not super long, and we don't have a lot of underground. So we do wanna get it out, but it's gonna be kind of a late season one again. But it should be a pretty quick hitter, just because it doesn't have any curves. It's not a lot of underground. We'll be doing the storm piping, but that's relatively shallow. And we want to be able to get this in and get it hit. So,
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, council? I have a question I shouldn't ask, but why can't it be done next summer? Well, well, that's, this summer.
July 1st.
Oh, fiscal year '26, gotcha, sorry. Okay, I knew I shouldn't ask. Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Berg.
I move to enter into a service agreement with Inberg Miller Engineers to provide professional engineering services and authorize the mayor to sign the service agreement for the Bridger Drive reconstruction project, carrying a not-to-exceed cost of $139,625.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, consideration of a YDOT Transportation Alternatives Program subrecipient agreement for the proposed Green River Schools American with Disabilities Act upgrades. Go ahead, Dustin.
We are also seeking your approval tonight to enter into an agreement with YDOT for the Green River Schools ADA upgrades. If you recall, we submitted this application earlier this year, and our earlier 2024, sorry. And luckily, we were able to get YDOT to award us the project, and it requires a 9.51% grant cost share. So our match would be $32,754.44. So with your approval tonight, we will go ahead and get that project started as well.
Okay, any questions for Dustin on this one? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Bushman.
I move to enter an agreement with YDOT obligating the city to pay a grant cost of $32,754.44 and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Bushman, seconded by Councilman Williams. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous also. Item F, consideration of an agreement with Adelska LLC for 2025 Flaming Gorge Days. Reed, are you?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I was taking this one. Presenting to you tonight is the contract from Adelska, the same firm that we used last year, which we had a late start getting started with that. We ended up working with them, getting the whole thing branded, done, managed, and it was still, ended up being a pretty successful event. We followed that up with a couple meetings that we had with staff and with people who helped out with Adelska, looking at what we could what we could improve and do going into the next year, continuing to use the same branding, social media presence, and the marketing that they had done. We then had sent out a public meeting to attend, to offer suggestions to kind of kickstart off this with them again. And we have, they've come back with a contract. It's already been reviewed by Galen. This time we had it complete with very minor changes. And we're looking to move forward with them and getting this started earlier this year.
Okay. First off, is there any questions of Reed from the council?
Yeah.
I have one question, and that is, I'm assuming we're going to have the 3-on-3 again this time.
Yes, we are. We've secured that already.
Is that run by Adelska? Is it run by people local?
It's run by people local, whatever, and they will be sponsoring it. But it will, all the signups and everything that we're going to be doing, from the parade through the events, the concert, all that stuff will be done through the website this time, and not having that. And we'll be having the same help that we've had, with the vendors and that kind of thing too.
Thank you.
But it'll be all tied through the website.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Shuttron.
When we discussed this last time, we talked if we had a little bit of success with these guys, we were gonna reach out and have them have a little bit more of a stake in some of the other portions of the event. Was there any discussion of that? I mean, this is just the concert portion of it.
Yeah, there was, when we first started doing that was the goal, to do it, but because when we came into it the last time, we were late into the game on that. That is still the plan and intent that they want to do. And so basically making the modified changes, having them take more control of the other pieces and branding it across the board. And then having them work with the sponsors and having a little bit more time. I feel that as we go into the next year, the goal would be to have them taking it over completely if that is a successful way to do it.
Okay.
Okay. Did I see Councilwoman Mazer? Did I see you wanted to?
Yeah, I guess I just had a question about clarification. This is just for the concert piece?
It's for the,
So can you explain what Adelska will be doing? Sorry.
They will be doing the entire marketing, branding, social media campaign. They will be helping partner with getting the parade, that side done. They'll be providing all the volunteers, providing the risk management day of the event. They will be going out and getting the concerts and the people booked. They will have their team. They'll be, their team will be part of doing the ticket sales, the banding. They're also going to be working with us on getting the liquor risk management as well for the 2 days that we're going to be doing, which that stuff was not part of last year.
Okay.
Mayor,
Councilman
I have one more question, and it just came up, and that is, if the event turns out to be a negative profit, do they have any liability in that, or do we have all the liability? That's the first question. And the second question is, if the event turns out to be profitable, do we share the profit, or do we get the profit?
We would get any of the upside at this point in time. With them, they're just, all they're getting paid is their service fee.
And so we're responsible for the downside as well.
Correct. And based off of what we had done the last year, even with the short amount of time, we were more positive than we were on the downside of that. So I think your biggest risk is going to be in the, it will be in the ticket sales and then in the music and the concerts that you go after. But getting it this early will give them and us a chance to review who might be out there that would, and get better pricing, timing commitment on that.
Councilman Shattuck.
So with this right here, how quickly do we need to get this back to them? Because I think we need to probably talk about it a little bit. Like maybe have a quick workshop or some other ideas.
Okay. Is any other comments from council?
I got one real quick with the concerts and stuff. Do they already have a band lined up and ready to go? Because I've done some research on it before, and to get a decent band, you gotta start hustling them about a year to 8 months. You gotta start going out after them, because a lot of them book a year ahead for next concert. If these guys are waiting to book 4 or 5 months, we're not gonna get much of it.
Well, they're not gonna be able to book without a contract because
But
we
I
haven't.
just didn't know if they had
But they've
some-
already been, yes, they've already been talking with people, and they've got a couple, some ideas that they feel that would be good for, having done this before and hearing and seeing the comments and everything, so. And if you want to.
I wouldn't want to hold it up too much, but I mean, if we could have another
Yeah,
discussion
and
about it.
as long as you, and just share what you would like to workshop.
I just kind of want to see how what it's gonna morph into, and like how what events we're actually gonna give them, because we're already talking about the 3 and 3 and stuff. We're gonna take portion of that this year, so what other events are we gonna have them watch over?
Yeah, and I can resend the email that we'd already done with that, which had all the events that were listed, and, a lot of it's gonna be based on, additional volunteers, but, I mean, we probably came up with more than what we, could handle or manage, if you will, just, on that, but, yeah, we can.
Okay, any other go ahead,
May I
Jessica.
ask how far in advance were they booked last year?
I wanna say it wasn't till the end of March or 1st of April, and that was, we almost canceled it.
Okay.
But they decided to, try to do that so that they could work with, so that, just to see what it would be like to work with sponsors, work within the city and the staff, and it went well. We did take a lot of the, work on it between the parade, which will still help and do all that stuff, but they had to, kind of go through the ropes of what they were gonna manage.
So this company only did the concerts last year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And was that profitable? That portion of it, was it profitable?
No.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, they got sponsors. If you looked at if you did it as a pure ticket sales, it was not, but overall, with the event that we had put in, it was less expensive than when we had done it before in previous years on the stuff that we had done.
Okay. Was the overall event profitable last year?
There was still a cost that we had, that was there. But it was within the budget that we had set up.
Okay.
Councilman Kilpack.
Just one last question so that it might help her out a little bit. Haven't we budgeted about 40 or 50,000 for this?
Yeah, in previous years that we had done that.
Did we do that this year? I can't remember.
We have, not quite that much budgeted for it, but we ran the numbers based off of adding the the sales on the Saturday, which we didn't have, and estimating with what had been done, and looking at it just slightly increased in ticket sales and more time to do that, we see it being profitable.
And just as a comment, because we didn't have Flaming Gorge for a couple of years, we recognized last year that it was gonna cost us some money to get it back up and going. And hopefully this year it'll be profitable or less money.
Councilman Shutter, and I'd say that we can, they are open as we are to adding additional things that will go on within that realm. I mean, there was probably 40 things that were thrown out. It's just a matter of, what will work in manpower and that kind of thing, so.
Okay, any other comments from the council? Is there anybody in the audience that wants to address this? Go ahead, Steve.
Mike, I think I can help you a little bit. We are planning on having the fire department do the car show again. Larry and Bill have indicated they want to do that. The recreation center would like to also be involved in the parade.
Okay.
The key to this whole thing is that Delska will be able to send everybody into the same location where they can register, and instead of all these different places. I mean, I was taking vendor money in, Alicia was taking vendor money in, Patty was. We're gonna try to centralize this whole thing where Delska will handle all of it, which will save us city employees some time. The 3-on-3, we do have a sponsor for that. I can't tell you, I'm not gonna announce who it is, but we do have a sponsor for that. But I will say this to the people out there watching or listening, we will need volunteers, and we need groups that might want to look at fundraisers, like Parents for the Wrestlers or FFA group, or because one of the things we really heard big last year was there was no beer sales on Saturday during the day. We heard a lot of people saying that Western Wyoming Beverage and Teton Distributors can't serve beer. They can supply it and supply the tent, but we'll have to find some people to serve it. Okay. And so we think that'll be a better revenue generator for what's going on. Cornhole tournament, there's a lot of things, and Alicia's here, and I talked to her yesterday, or 2 days, or I guess it was last week. She's already got 72 vendors lined up. Okay. And I think we're gonna cap it at 80 because of space down there with the car show and some of those other things. So things are moving along, and
I guess more so, this is more aimed at just the actual concerts. I wouldn't be opposed to voting on this one, but if we could have some more discussion on the latter part of everything, since it's not part of this motion.
100%.
Perfect,
Yeah.
We're the ones that approve that anyway, they don't decide.
Got it.
some of the other things talked about was a 5K run walk, volleyball tournament, tug of war, chalk art, more family-oriented stuff as well. So there's a lot of stuff in the hopper here. It's just Delska is going to be the main contact point. Obviously, I'll be involved, the rec center is going to be involved. We're still going to have employees involved in what we're doing, but this just gets the ball rolling.
Okay.
So. Questions?
Thank you, Steve. Anybody else want to address the council? Yes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is April Donberg. I'm representing my company Arctic Circle. I'm grateful for the opportunity to address you. I just wanted to bring some of my concerns to the council. Many of them have been addressed already tonight, so I appreciate that. Last year, we were a sponsor for the concerts through Adelska. Our company sponsored them, and in return, you receive certain perks or advertisements. And I felt like, me and my company felt like that those promises weren't acted upon. It's my opinion and the opinion of my company that the promises were not kept. Concert tickets that we were supposed to receive were not delivered in a timely manner. We use those for incentives for our employees and things like that, and we received them Thursday evening, which wasn't enough time to distribute them to our employees in a timely manner. Same thing with the drink tickets. We never got the drink tickets. Again, I don't use those, but I use those for my employees. T-shirts, we never received our T-shirts. Again, we use those. We pass them out to family, friends, employees. That's free advertising for Flaming Gorge Days as well as for us. So that was a concern, that we didn't receive the T-shirts in a timely manner or at all. And then we were also promised advertising on social media, such as shout-outs and things like that. The Facebook page has less, or just a little over 300 followers, and so that was a very small reach. The Instagram page has much, much less of a following. The name of our company was wrong. It was also improperly tagged, and so that advertising, the sponsorship was a large amount of money, and it felt like that maybe the advertising that we were promised in return fell through. Communication felt like it was a little bit lacking with Adelska and our sponsorship. So there was a little bit of communication there. So my concern moving forward is if our company is dissatisfied, how many other sponsors are dissatisfied, and is it just throwing more money at something that isn't worth it? I hate to see Flaming Gorge Days leave. The brand and the reputation of Flaming Gorge Days and the city of Green River has been tarnished over certain events over the last few years, but I was excited last year when I heard that Adelska was gonna run the concerts. And I didn't have a strong feeling either way if it was an inside company or an outside company. That didn't matter to me. I just didn't want to see it go away. And I still don't want to see it go away. I just wanted to share the experience that our company had with Adelska as far as promises that were not kept for advertising and for sponsorship money. Flaming Gorge Days is a big deal for our family. My family always travels home to spend Flaming Gorge Days weekend here, and last year they didn't come. They didn't feel like there was an incentive or a reason to come home, and so I would hate to see that continue to happen. So, as a business, it's usually our busiest weekend of the year, and last year that was not the case, and so I was a little bit concerned about that as well. So, thank you. Any questions for me?
Any questions, council?
No, I appreciate your input.
Go ahead.
I would like to just, as far as the tickets and the t-shirt stuff, I would have to put that on our staff, not Adelska, because all that stuff was shipped to us, so I haven't heard that before, but, these are all input we'll take, but, in getting that stuff out, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, council, what's your pleasure?
Can I ask another quick question?
Absolutely.
Have there been other companies who have shared the same sentiment? That's unfortunate. Okay.
Good question. Okay, again. We'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttridge.
I move to approve the agreement for services with Adelska LLC for 2025 Flaming Gorge Days concert pending legal approval.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay. Motion dies. Since you did mention, Councilman Shuttrin, a workshop,
Yes, sir.
we need to do something to move this forward because we just heard that time is of the essence and we need to do something. So, yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, I don't know how to work this thing, but I'm just gonna guess. Okay, it's on. My name's Alicia Blazich. I ran the vendor show last year, Flaming Gorge Days. And I have contacts through the American Legions that when they put on the Music for Vets. I've already talked to them last year in case this did fail this year. And I have other bands that I've been in contact with throughout the last couple of years, just local bands. But they're local bands that people usually go to the bars and go watch. So I would just like to put out there that I would like to help. I can do that. So.
Okay, thank you. So again, council, should we not workshop this and figure where we're gonna go with this? So we wanna workshop it as soon as possible. Okay? Correct, council?
Yep.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. There's no discussion on the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. City Administrator?
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Mr. City Attorney?
I have no report tonight, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll start with Councilwoman Bushman.
I just wanted to shout out to Music for Vets, which is, something I'm always involved with. They did a tremendous job. Thank you for the police department having a presence there, and for the city for donating the island for a well cause. They raised over $70,000, which was more than last year, so it's phenomenal. So good things. We always want to support our veterans. Thank you.
Councilman Berg.
I have no report tonight, Mayor.
Councilman Shuttrin.
I have no report this evening.
Councilwoman Mazer.
Nothing here.
Councilman Williams.
Yeah, I had Diane type up something for me real quick and give it to all the council members and stuff over Springback Recycling. They're the outfit that does the mattress recycling for Rock Springs. They come up out of Utah and pick up the mattresses and stuff. And I put a little information in there. I'd have emailed everybody, but my computer went haywire, so I wrote up something. Diane got it all typed up, and hopefully you guys can read that. I hope to sit down maybe and talk to Reed real quick about it this week. Go over some more information about it, and we can maybe kind of resolve this issue until we can figure out something when our contract comes back up. One quick question, that road survey that how's that going along? Have those guys got back with us on that or yet? About which one, you know what I mean, we approved on here not too long ago?
Yes, sir. So we received an update from MDS Technologies yesterday with some updated just GIS files that we're currently processing. We should be ready for the presentation on the 21st for MDS Technologies to come over and present the results of their survey. So I believe that's what we're currently scheduled. Nothing's concrete yet, but that was when they were originally scheduled to come and give us an update for that.
And since I got you up here real quick, with the ADA sidewalks and all that stuff, are we going after grants for Flaming Gorge? Down by the park and stuff, that's not handicap accessible, and it's a state highway, state roads, so I just wonder if we're trying to get grants to get all that fixed up, because I have watched people in a wheelchair couldn't get on the sidewalk there and had a journey all the way up around, and it just, I don't know, and people carrying their, like with the parade, kids in wagons and stuff, parents are dragging them, they can't get them up those stairs.
Right.
I was just hoping we have approached, going after grants for that. I don't know if it's Mark or you, but both of you, I don't know.
Mayor, Council, Mark Westensco, Public Works Director. We have in the past we've been working with YDOT for a couple of years. We did the corridor study on there, identified a lot of the ADA improvements. We recognize that the ADA is a really big stumbling block for them. There are certain improvements that they cannot do to Flaming Gorge Way because it triggers ADA, and the ADA, the extent of the nonconformity is great. Stairways and things, they're not even close. So it's interesting. We've been trying to push this. The TAP grant that we received today, we actually submitted to have the ADA designed for Flaming Gorge Way. In previous, we didn't get that one. Basically, we kind of had to pick one or the other. In this last cycle, we picked the schools. And so we will continue to work with them. I've actually been in contact with some other advocacy folks who are looking at some different avenues to try to get their awareness on this. There are some different avenues that can be done, and I can talk to you kind of outside some of the things that have been going on there. We have talked to our legislative representatives in the past. We're trying to shake that tree. We are.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks. Councilman Kilpack.
I don't have much, but I want to welcome the new council people, even though two of them have already been here for a while. And I want to thank the council that allowed me to be council president for a long time. I was council president for a lot of years, and so it's good that somebody else have a term. And it's good to be back. Just to give you a little update on where I've been, they operated on me Friday. I got the diagnosis today from the doctor, and I do have cancer, and my bladder is 95% full of cancer, and it has gone into the muscle. It's a fast-moving cancer. I do hope that I can go back and get operated on next week, and they'll remove the entire bladder and then reconstruct everything else that they have to reconstruct, and then the rest of my life will be carrying one of these little bags around, which I can deal with as long as I can wrap it around me tight so I can run a marathon. I'll be okay. But I might not be able to make it to the next council meeting depending on how that is, but I appreciate the support from everybody and the cards that people have sent me, and thank you very much. And I did miss coming to city council. I do like to cause trouble. That's all I have.
Thanks, Gary, and we do want to thank you for being the president for all those years and the leadership that you've provided. And we certainly wish you well with all the health issues that you're dealing with. Sales tax was $867,000, more or less. Not quite what we had hoped for, but not bad. You know, the next month is going to be a big deal because Chris pointed out to me today that in this last round, normally, what's it called? Black Friday? Cyber Monday, Black Friday, thank you. All those fancy, big spending days were not included in this sales tax, so we'll get that in the next month. That could be a big deal. I mean, that could jump it up a couple $100,000, and then we're, right ahead, continuing to be ahead of the game, as we hope to be. So, I'd also like to welcome Jessica. And I want to again thank George. 20 years is amazing contribution to your city. Amazing. He needs to be thanked by lots and lots of people, for sure. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thanks, everybody.